seeing is that both of them, having posed as the victim for so long, are really the aggressors.
They have created the stories and the speculation and the questioning about the origin of both children. I wasn't born yesterday, and I know that 2 and 2 make 4. They don't make 22.
You guys, buckle up, because what Lady Colin, Campbell, and Tom Bower just exposed will make your jaw drop. The royal facade, it's crumbling, and no amount of carefully curated PR can fix what they've just laid bare. We're talking about Archie and Lilibet's births. And trust me, after this, you'll never look at Harry and Meghan the same way again. This isn't wild speculation or some tabloid fluff. These are Britain's most connected royal biographers. And what they're bringing to the surface is a trail of inconsistencies so shocking, it makes that Netflix doc look like child's play. We're talking edited birth certificates, no hospital staff confirmation, no security logs, strategic media games that literally defy basic medical logic. And get this, it all starts unraveling the second Lady C and Tom Bower shine a light on the one thing Meghan and Harry have guarded more ferociously than their Spotify contract: the truth behind their kids' births. Their investigation hit like a bomb. This wasn't allegedly this, or rumors say that. They presented it as cold, hard facts, documents, records, people inside the palace who finally feel safe enough to talk. The image Meghan and Harry have worked so hard to protect? Yeah, it's starting to look like one massive illusion.
Instance of this is damaging to the royal family, and damaging to supporters, to the interests of the royal.
And you know what's even more telling? From the very beginning, the whole privacy thing wasn't just about boundaries, it was a strategy. Royal births follow a strict, very public tradition: verified doctors, royal OBs, media updates, and of course that iconic photo op on the hospital steps. It's part of the deal. But what did Meghan and Harry do? None of it. Instead, they dropped this cold, vague press release hours after Archie's supposed birth. No photos, no interviews, no confirmation from the hospital staff. Lady C came out and said it. No one, not security, not nurses, not even reception, saw Meghan at Portland Hospital on May 6, 2019. And come on, that's insane. This is a royal baby. When Kate gave birth to George, Charlotte, and Louis, it was all documented minute by minute. The media was everywhere. But with Archie, silence. Worse, confusion. The palace announced Meghan was in labor 7 hours after Archie was apparently born. That doesn't even make sense. And then, the paperwork drama. 11 days later, the birth certificate gets a sneaky edit. Meghan's name, Rachel Meghan, is suddenly removed, and Prince gets added before Harry's. The palace was quick to distance itself. That was the Sussexes' decision, they said. But why? Why would a couple obsessed with truth and authenticity scrub Meghan's name off a legal record? Unless it didn't fit their branding. Fast forward to baby Lilibet in 2021. And get this, her birth certificate from Santa Barbara has a state code 105. But every California birth is supposed to read 104. Guess what code 105 is? Colorado. So, was it a mistake? Or was the paperwork filed from a totally different state than where Lilibet was actually born? And again, no comment from Team Sussex. And Buckingham Palace? Radio silence. No confirmation, no denial, just like with Archie.
They could easily squash this, and they don't. What's odd to me is this is such it's popular theory that goes, and the bump, the moving, all this stuff.
But hold on, because Tom Bower takes things even further, and it's chilling. He wants to know, why were the royal doctors, the same ones Queen Elizabeth personally offered, rejected? Why did Meghan and Harry go with private, unknown doctors no one from the palace could vet? Why do both hospitals involved, Santa Barbara and Portland, have zero recollection of Meghan Markle ever being there? Tom Bower isn't just tossing out accusations, he's done the work. He said it live on air. I've spoken to staff, I've checked the logs. If she gave birth there, it happened invisibly, and that's medically impossible.
All description she does of the Portland hospital, the birth, that was completely fabricated.
Let's just sit with that. A royal birth. one of the most significant in recent history. And there's not one scrap of evidence, no alerts, no confirmations, no records, no photos, nothing. That doesn't just raise red flags, that's a full-blown siren. Sure, you could chalk it up to celebrity privacy, but this isn't some Hollywood couple. Archie and Lilibet are part of the royal family, and if Meghan used a surrogate, which by the way would be totally fine, then legally, they have to declare that. Otherwise, the children's royal status could be in jeopardy. And that is why Harry's legal team went into panic mode the minute Lady C opened her mouth. They threatened defamation suits, tried to scare everyone into silence. But you know what that kind of overreaction does? It makes people even more curious. If the claims were absurd, why not just laugh them off? Why go nuclear?
Hated the stories and the speculation and the questioning about the origin of both children.
Lady Colin Campbell isn't holding back. She says the secrecy isn't just shady. It's a direct attack on the very foundation of the monarchy. Since 1689, every royal birth has followed a protocol. This breaks every rule in the book. According to her, this isn't privacy. It's calculated manipulation, and it puts the legitimacy of the royal line at risk.
Is that both of them, having posed as the victim for so long, are really the aggressors.
Now here's where it gets even more ruthless. Money. Yep, the dirty motive behind it all. You see, Netflix cut ties. That massive 9-figure deal slashed. Their content tanked in viewership. Their projects flopped. And their so-called passion film Meet Me at the Lake completely abandoned. The brand is dying fast, and they know it. So here's the truth. They cannot afford another scandal, especially one that shatters their happy royal family image. If the birth narratives fall apart, then so does the entire Sussex brand. The heartwarming documentaries, the children's programs, the speaking gigs, poof, gone. The emotional core of their empire collapses. And guess who else is watching very closely? Buckingham Palace. Officials are silent, yes, but make no mistake, that silence is strategic. They know if they confirm or deny surrogacy, they risk triggering a constitutional disaster or getting dragged into endless court battles over medical privacy. But here's a whisper from deep inside the palace. The late queen wasn't buying the official story either. Rumor has it she privately questioned the secrecy around Archie's birth. And now, King Charles reportedly refuses to offer future security or formal royal roles to Archie and Lilibet unless there's absolute proof of their birth circumstances. He's demanding receipts. And when you really think about it, and have you ever noticed how robotic every public moment with the children feels? Every time Meghan steps out with Archie or Lilibet, it's the same routine. Pose for the camera, smile, hand them off. Done. It doesn't feel like motherhood, it feels like PR, and the moment she's under fire, boom. The kids come out. Suddenly, she's the doting mom defending her family. But when things cool off, the children vanish again. It's like emotional blackmail. Positive press, parade the babies, negative headlines, cry privacy, and it's working, or it was, until now.
Look at their child and, want the staff to constantly feed them. She doesn't want anything to do with her own children. They are props in this whole PR game that she is playing to make her look like a loving mother. She is nothing to be admired. Her true self is nasty.
Lady C just dropped what might be her most brutal takedown yet. In her latest interview, she ripped apart Meghan's pregnancy claims with cold precision. And honestly, it's hard to argue with her. She says something was visibly wrong during Meghan's pregnancies, or should we say pregnancies? The baby bump, the way she moved, how it shifted in size and shape, sometimes within the same day. It all looked completely unnatural. There was no consistency, and people noticed.
1 point. Archie decided he no longer enjoyed being in the abdominal cavity and was therefore going to do a deep dive between her.
But then Lady C delivered the real sting. She suggests that Harry's bizarre behavior and the couple's delusional storytelling could be tied to substance use. Not old drug stories, not the stuff Harry already spilled in his memoir. She's talking about now. She says there are signs of ongoing issues. The wild claims, the erratic public appearances, the constant contradictions. According to her and Bauer, it's a couple spiraling, desperate for relevance and using anything to stay in the spotlight. And speaking of spiraling, have you seen Tom Bauer's latest interview with Dan Wooten? He absolutely obliterates the Sussex narrative. He says Meghan's first big interview wasn't even for the British public. It was for CBS. Why? Because she didn't want anyone challenging the story. It was was all about control, total message dominance, and from that moment on, every appearance, every reveal, every bombshell sound was manufactured. Nothing organic, nothing spontaneous, just PR-crafted drama.
How the whole thing is unraveling.
And yet they don't produce any evidence.
None at all.
Of the claims that they have made against the royal family.
But the Portland hospital story, oh, it gets even worse. Bauer reveals that Meghan never intended to give birth there at all. That's right, Portland was never part of the plan. What she really wanted, a secret home birth. No royal oversight, no public record, no accountability. Those press releases hinting at a standard royal labor, smoke, mirrors, lies. Even the date, time, and medical sign-off were allegedly revised to match their version of events. This is the Sussex strategy. Control everything, answer nothing. And Bauer's not buying any of it. He says it's all part of their playbook. Throw out grand claims, intimidate people legally, flood the media with friendly coverage, and shut down any criticism with legal threats. We've seen it over and over. Remember Meghan's sworn statements denying any involvement in Omid Scobie's sugary biography or that infamous letter to her father? Proven false. Still, her lawyers insisted she didn't lie. It was just a memory slip. It's exhausting. It's infuriating. And it's always the same formula. Manipulate, deflect, distract, and get this. When it came to the bullying staff claims against William, there were no names, no dates, no documentation, just vague accusations, except for one man, Jason Knopf, the only insider who was willing to speak the truth. And what did Meghan and Harry do? Turned him into the villain. Classic. Bauer says it loud and clear. This isn't truth-telling, it's myth-building. And the Netflix docuseries? 6 hours of unchecked propaganda, no journalistic standards, no fact-checking, just two people spinning fiction into a documentary. And unless they open up those hospital records, show the emails, provide real witness statements, every single question about Archie's birth, Lilibet's identity, and even those bullying claims will just keep growing. This isn't just PR drama anymore. It's a crisis of legitimacy. It's the kind of silence that doesn't protect children. It endangers their future place in royal history.
Extremely practical reason for all of these stories. Plus, of course, both Meghan and Harry are precious.
And if you thought it couldn't get more ridiculous, buckle up. Meghan recently claimed she had life-threatening preeclampsia during pregnancy. Yes, that Meghan. The one who documented every little tear, every glance, every emotional moment, and yet somehow forgot to mention a near-fatal medical emergency? Lady C was not having it. She came in swinging, pointing out the most obvious truth. If Meghan had preeclampsia, it would have been front-page news the day it happened. Not some weird, backdated drama. Harry wrote books. They filmed documentaries. Not one word about it. Why? Because it didn't happen. And even worse, she claimed she got 2 epidurals and was discharged from the hospital in 2 hours? No chance. Not even remotely plausible. Any doctor would laugh at that.
Whether Meghan had postpartum preeclampsia or just preeclampsia, which would have been prepartum. But whatever it is, I don't believe.
Lady C laid it out. Meghan is weaponizing serious medical conditions for sympathy, and it's disgusting. Now she's adding postpartum preeclampsia too, all without a single doctor, record, or witness. There's no proof. None. It's fiction. And it disrespects every woman who's ever actually endured that pain. Lady C went even deeper. She found out one of the doctors allegedly present at Archie's birth was out of the country at the time. Not rumor, not hearsay, documented from the doctors themselves.
If she had preeclampsia, there is no way she could have been released from the hospital very quickly. So the whole thing, it goes, I'm sorry, I don't believe a word of...
And her final verdict? Brutal. She called Meghan one of the nastiest pieces of work the public's ever seen. She said Meghan's entire goal is to tear down the monarchy using fake medical stories, fake emotional trauma, and fake family moments just to stay relevant. And here's the hard truth. Unless Meghan and Harry come forward with actual documentation, the medical proof, the logs, the signed records, this story will never go away. Every time they hide, every time they threaten to sue, every time they deflect, it just makes people more suspicious. Because this isn't about privacy anymore, it's about truth. And truth doesn't hide behind PR teams.